Good morning, potato chips. How you doing? Wee Paddy from across the shuck, and go get a cup of tea. Stop the video, go get a cup of tea, and sit down because we're going to have a wee shoot the breeze with Paddy. And I've got a lot of wee things I just want to get off my chest, show you what's coming, tell you what's coming, talk about some of the videos I've just done and some of the responses I just got. Nothing bad, but just want to talk about them. And first of all, I want to say the boy who won this has not contacted me yet. He's got till the end of today this beautiful little wallet with the two bits of back for a flashlight and a torch or whatever you want, pry bar and a knife. So he hasn't contacted me. If he hasn't contacted me, I'll do a redraw on Sunday night for this. This was the HSEDC wallet, leather wallet. It is beautiful. So for those of you who entered that competition, please watch out on Sunday and I'll let you know whether it's up for a redraw. And then next week at some stage, I have another young fella who makes leather in the UK. This is one of my little favourite ones. It's a wee beauty. But he makes lovely leather wallets. That's a lovely one. For those who like a wider torch to carry in their EDC, this one will be in a giveaway for this young man. And his name's Ryan Curtis, I believe. I'm terrible with names, but that'll be up next week. I'll show you his products. So that's that out of the way. Now, let's get the big monkey off my back. The ads free. Last week I told you I was going ads free because AdSense are just mucking about and I just didn't really want to get involved with it. One, I'm no good with all the technical stuff and filling out these forms, but now I was very grateful because some of the bigger channels that I know had let me know that it doesn't matter what you do, AdSense will put ads on your channel if they believe they can make money. Now, I haven't got a huge channel, but I've got a bigger channel than I ever thought I had. They'd already started to put initial ads on the opening of my videos. So you can't beat them. So what I've done is I haven't turned them off completely, but what I have done, when you go in, you've got this little list of ads that you want to go on, or in frame, after, during. And all I have clicked is one thing, and that is clickable ads, which means you can skip them. Skippable ads, I should say. So you'll be able to skip the ads that I have on. Anything else that comes up on there is AdSense himself. And I wouldn't know how to stop it. I have no idea. But I've just put clickable ads. So hopefully even if the ads do come up, you've only got a couple of seconds to watch and then you can click through them. So I'm sorry about that. The one thing I will do, my money's going to go down, which I just wasn't bothered about. I couldn't be bothered. What this might do is, if I get enough to buy a knife once every 2 months, it's going to be a help for the channel. So that's all good and well. But in the meantime, I've got some thank yous to do. Now, I'm not going to use the names because I'm not sure. I'll do it before I do the videos. But what I have got, I got this lovely Rough Rider. I won in Congi's knife sales on Facebook. Go and see him. I'll put his name down below. I know I can do that for him. But I won this in his raffle. He does a raffle. He does 2 a week sometimes, raffles. You pay £3 or £4, £5, depending on what the value of the knife is, to go into a raffle. Sometimes you're only one of 30, so you get a chance to win a really good knife for a fiver. I got this one. I think this only cost about £4 to enter. And it's a Rough Rider. Let me just see. It's the RRR, Rough Rider Reserve. So it comes in the tube and all, 003. And it is a Reserve swell-centered Whittler. So I'm really looking forward to doing the review on that. I haven't used it, carried it yet, so I'll do the review on that. And then at 500 subs, I'm going to give this away. So there we go. I got another knife here. This is another one of my subs sent me. This is a Ganzo. I haven't done a Ganzo review in ages. So this is the G738 in green G10. Looking forward to doing that because it's one I never had when I was doing my Ganzo collecting. So I'll enjoy doing that. I'll start moving this out of the way because there's more stuff to come down. The other thing I got, Congi sent this for the channel when he sent my prize in a raffle, which I thought was lovely. And he sent it by way of thank you to use for going to his channel, and quite a few of you bought knives off him. I hope you had the same experience as me. It's a great experience. So he sent this to me, and it's a Ferrum Forge little knife. It's the Mini Archbishop 9CR18, which sort of, and the price for this is, it's about a, 60, £70 knife. I'm going to talk about that in a wee minute, so I'm going to leave that there. Another video this week is buck. I was going to do the video just on this big buck 110. I've just put the thumb stud on this, which is great for opening it one-handed. This is a cracking big knife. It's by no means a finesse knife, but by gosh, I'm enjoying it. I'm really glad I got this. I'll tell you what, you see, for a lockback, there is not one bit of movement in this. Now, maybe I've been lucky. I don't know. I'm not a real... I kept saying I'm not a real buckman, but I've got about 4 or 5 buck knives from big ones. And this is the little small version of this. This is the Buck 55, which I've had for years. And I love this. It really is just a scaled down version of the big knife. Beautiful clip blade. Really lovely knife. And I've enjoyed this and used this many a time. You can see by that, it just gets thrown in my pocket. But I wouldn't be just throwing this in my pocket, but I genuinely love it. I'm glad I've got it in my collection after all these years of collecting. So there we go. There'll be a video coming on my buck knives, and there's a few of them to come. Now, here's a wee bit of it's not ranting, and believe you me, the response I got in the last sharpening video with this wee Victorinox was amazing, and I thank every single one of you who watched, but most importantly, I thank every single one of you who comment. I have got loads of comments, and there's some of the comments I want to talk about. Now, this is by no means getting at you. If you made this comment, I'm not using names because I don't need to use names or anything. It's just some of the comments I got that sort of, sometimes I look at and you think, well, why? But if that's what's in your head, that's what comments are for. And there was nobody rude, nobody nasty, nobody said anything offensive whatsoever. But they just made certain comments. Like one person said, you're holding it the wrong angle when you're sharpening. And to be honest with you, my sharpening is not... Look, Jeff Jewell, if you want a sharpener, go on YouTube and go to Jeff Jewell. He is a sharpener extraordinaire. He is amazing, well known throughout the whole community, and he does it properly. I'm a rough and ready, get him sharp and use him. On some of my more fancy high-end knives, I'll put this mirror polish and I'll get the exact degrees on either side, and I'll do that. But on most knives, I just want to sharpen and move on. Get it sharp enough so that my sharpening gets it cutting hair. If it can cut hair on my arm, that's sharp enough for me. I don't need to measure it. I don't need to test it. If it cuts hair on my arm, it's sharp enough for me. So that's the sort of, I would like you to take that into consideration when you're watching my videos. I'm by no means some expert sharpener. I can get an edge on anything, and it doesn't matter whether it's diamond or, M390. I've not tried some of the really big ones, but they'd be no different. It just takes a wee bit longer the harder the steel has been heat treated. Now, I done this week. Next week, I'm going to do this, which is the Lansky Turnbox. Oh, another wee comment. Well, it's in my... Lots of wee things might come into my head during this video, but that's just me. It comes into my head. So somebody said it wasn't a sharpening video. It was a honing video. Now, to me, when a blade is blunt and it won't cut paper, it needs sharpening. Now, it might just need a quick sharpen and then a hone, like a strop. That's what I'd be doing on videos. I do not want to make 40-minute videos in sharpening. Jeff does that, and he does it so well, and he'll show you how to freehand. The best person I watched Jeff for years and years and years, and he is just amazing. I love watching him, and I can put myself to that task if I want to. Nowhere near as good as Jeff, but I can do it. These are just... Oh, I've just dropped my little sharpening stick. Oh, well, it's gone. These are just videos to show somebody who's just around, or somebody who's been around years but never really took the sharpening bug. I'm just showing the basic ways of doing it. I'll be doing the Lansky turnbox. This is what it's called. It's about £20. So that's just a rough price. So it's not expensive to do it. You have 25 or 20-degree angles and 25-degree angles. 25-degree angles is more for your bushcraft knives. 20-degree angles for pen knives, absolutely fine. You can go lower, but you don't need to. That'll give you a good edge. It'll last a good amount of time. That's why I just choose. I just freehand whatever edge comes up. When it's sharp, it's sharp. So no offense to anybody if you commented. Thank you so much for commenting. I really do appreciate it. The nice thing about the wee Lansky, I'll not go into it, but you can do scissors and all on it. There's a special wee hole here for doing scissors and all sorts of things. But now, all it is inside here you have 2 ceramic rods on that side. And the one I got this time, I used to have one. This one has diamond rods. There we go. Now, I would say that's about 800 grit diamond stone, which is about the same as what's on the other wee Victorinox one. But you sharpen a different way with these. And we'll do that this week. You can get one that's just ceramic as well, but I got the wee diamond because it lets you sharpen something that's a bit duller, or the steel. I mean, that does S30V, S35VN quite happily. You can get an edge with that and not take too long. So we'll do that, and I hope you'll enjoy that. But just remember, when I'm sharpening, this is not oh, here's how you have to do it, and this is what will happen. This is just Paddy showing you to get a knife sharp. There's so many different ways of doing it. We'll all find our own way of doing it. I get mine hair shaving sharp on my arm. That's all I need. I never need any. I don't really have show knives out for show. They're all in boxes. So my knives are not to put in a showcase with this super mirror edge, although I can get it if I want it. So that's it. No more ranting. Now, another wee chat. This Ferrum Forge. I'm very grateful to get it. Absolutely, and Mark Conger, and thank you so much indeed. The channel really appreciates. I don't have a Ferrum Forge. I have a couple of Civivis, which I like. They're in D2. They're nice. But this is a Ferrum Forge, and this is in 9CR18. Now, again, I'm not a steel snob by any means, because I'll use anything. Surgical steel cuts, you just have to sharpen it more. And when you have the wee pen sharpener, it'll go all day. So, but 9CR18 for the price, I think these are about 60 or 70 pounds to buy, about 60 pounds, say, let's just say that. £60 for 9CR18. Now, for those of you who really don't know anything about steel, 9CR18 is about the same as 440 that Ganzo used to use, that everybody said was crap. And it was well past its sell-by date. It was made as a cutlery steel, but it's so out of date, it's no there. To me, and just to me, 9CR18 is no better than 440C. Now, you can say whatever you like, but in my use, this lasts as long as this. No problem. About the same. Depending on heat treat, depending on blade geometry, is how long that's going to last. And I'm not going any further than that because that's a minefield. But to me, in my use, this and this are about the same. This knife cost 10 quid and that knife cost 60 quid. This is plastic. That is G10, which is plastic. And I don't see why Ferrum Forge, a company who are, I mean, I really like Ferrum Forge. This is a mini Archbishop I've got here. Ferrum, this very small knife. It's smaller than this in hand and in blade length. But I don't understand why Ferrum Forge, who really do amazing heat treatments. So the heat treating this one maybe will be better and last longer than this. I don't know, but it's not going to be a whole lot more. I can't understand why they didn't at least use D2 or something, a longer lasting steel. For a £60 knife, I think 9CR18 is not worth that money. Now, if you're buying it for the design, that's absolutely fine. But for me, if I'm buying a knife for a design, I still want better steel than 9CR18 for £60. There is plenty of knives out. Civivi. There's an Elementum. That is a good EDC pocket knife. To me, this is verging on the, well, really a secondary knife. It's so small, where this is a good full handle. I can get a full four fingers. I can't get full four fingers in this. But it's a beautiful knife. It looks lovely. So we all buy for different reasons. But I just, at the minute, there's a lot of knives coming out with 9CR18, and everybody's saying what a great steel it is. And I can remember when I was collecting, Maganzos, everybody telling me, oh, 440 steel's crap. 440 steel is not crap. Let me just tell you that. This knife is not crap. It looks like it's a bit of a rip-off, and it has a bit of two knives in it, both made by Spyderco. But this is a beautiful knife, and it's for 10 quid. And in the States, you can buy these in the States. Over here, I have to send to China for this, and it's £10 or something. If you get it in the sales, you can get it for £8 or £9. This is as good a pocket knife as you'll ever need. It's just a bog standard cheap Delica that comes in VG10. This comes in 440C, which is not as good as VG10, but it's good enough. It's good enough to last a day. It is a lovely little knife. And I'm sort of, that Ganzo knife set me off on this little rant. But just don't knock out, when you're getting something that's 9CR18 or 440C, remember, you don't be paying big money for it. There was a time this was big money steel, but it's definitely not anymore. It's definitely not anymore. And when you can get, you can get Ganzos. Well, look, here's another one here. What is this one in? There's a bear fly. That's from China. Lovely canvas micarta. It's got the axis lock, or whatever they want to call it. It's all free now. Beautiful little knife. And this costs about £17 or something. It's absolutely beautiful indeed too. Lovely knife. Really lovely shaped blade. So just be careful. I hate to see people coming around and feel as if you have to buy something like this. I think they're ripping the price off, and I don't agree with it. So there's my thought on it. That's my 2 pence worth. The Ganzos and other knives are still out there. And if you just want a little knife to throw in your pocket to do cutting, this is not what I would call a show off to my friend's knife. It's just a nice wee small knife. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing to it. It's a nice wee small knife. So, but I am very, very grateful to get this, and we'll show it and we'll discuss it more in the thing. But it wasn't about the knife, but so much about blade steel, and people are obsessed with having to have these big blade steels. And then companies come back down the line, charge much less than their higher end ones, and they put, it's a real budget steel on a knife, and everybody's saying, oh, it's great, it's a great steel. Yeah, it is. It's a great pocket knife steel, but that's all it is. And I can get that for a tenner. And let me tell you, they are brilliant. So there we go. Right, what else have I got to rant about? It's a good old Paddy rant. Oh yes, here we go. This is going to get everybody up in arms now. But I don't care. Recently, Benchmade brought out the mini bugout. Well, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I sold my bugout off because I needed money for the channel or whatever. But I sold it off, and I haven't missed it for one day. And it was a knife I loved. It was a knife. Sorry, I'm just going to get this. My OCD's kicking in. I haven't got OCD, honest. But I haven't missed it for a day because I have other knives there. I have so many knives. And to be honest with you, the weight thing is great initially. But after a while, if something's 2.5 ounces and the bugout's just under 2, I can't feel the difference. But they brought out the mini bugout, and I thought, why? The bugout's under 2 ounces. You're bringing out something else. And I thought, am I missing something? Is this going to replace the bugout? So I didn't want to pay bugout prices because they're silly. Well, not silly prices. It's probably quite a good price for the mini bugout. So I went on AliExpress, as I do, and I make no bones about it. I go on to try stuff that I don't want to spend money from my pocket on to see what they're like. And I bought this. It was £15 or something. This is aluminium. It's the mini bugout. And the question I'm asking now is why? Why? Because this this is quite a good copy. Do you know what I mean? It's for 15 quid, but it works now. On this one, I can catch my, oh, I've just done it. You can actually push the fat of your finger in and lift the blade up. So, I mean, I could rectify that if I want, but this will probably go to one of my wee mates. He's a pensioner and he appreciates wee things like this. But I can't think of a reason why, because I can't get all 4 fingers on it. My 4th finger is off the back, and I don't like it. So there's a reason why I go on and buy little things, and I don't buy them for profit. This will get given away. And I had another one that I bought a while back, which was the ZT one. That's going to a new home, to another pensioner, and they appreciate the little blades. Will they cut for any length of time? Not really. If you get CR18, you're lucky. But it's probably just stainless steel. 420, who cares? You can sharpen 420 again with that little sharpener that's on the floor, and I can't bend over because I've got a fat belly. So what else have I got to say? The stick box. I have 3 knives. Oh yes, I have another 2 knives. Another really kind sub. Thank you very, very much. I'll talk about him when I get them. He has ordered me 2 knives from Heine Haynes. He gave me the choice to pick them. I've picked 2 Rough Riders, and I'm so looking forward to them. And that's amazing. I have subs. He'll buy it from Heine and send it to me for the channel. So again, to everybody that helps me, I don't deserve it. I talk a lot of tripe for over 20 minutes, but I do love you, and I love this channel, and I love knives, and I don't care where they come from. If I want to try something, I'll try it. So take care. Paddy's away. I still have a half-warm cup of tea. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to plenty of videos to come. Take care. Bye-bye now. Have a good weekend. Bye.